Shadow.
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 Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow.
Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog.
AKA the Edgy Hedgie.
If I were to describe Shadow the Hedgehog in one word, it would be fearless.
Tragic.
Misunderstood.
Mysterious.
Purpose. Resilient.
Damn.
Fierce.
Indomitable.
Iconic.
Edgy.
There's only one word to describe Shadow the Hedgehog, and that is chaos.
Undeniable.
The coolest.
Layered.
Ultimate.
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 Complex.
Fascinating.
But I have another word. Chaos Control!
Bello, 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 bello.
If I were to describe Shadow in one word, it would be squishy.
Amazing.
Raw.
Only one word? I'd use loyal to describe Shadow then.
Love.
Boyfriend.
He's just cool. I think Shadow's just really cool.
More specifically, the coolest.
Uncanny.
Fast.
Respect.
Faker.
He's cool, but he's the coolest.
Describe Shadow the Hedgehog in one word. I'd say troublesome, although he does have his uses from time to time. More often than not, he aligns himself with that wretched blue rodent, Sonic!
If I've had to describe Shadow the Hedgehog in just one word, I would say I want more words, because it's impossible. Everything he does with conviction. He has an incredibly strong sense of justice, and he just cares so deeply about his friends, and he rides a motorcycle. You can't get cooler than that.
Whether he was rushing through a jungle that was set to explode in order to save Rouge, or when he fought through waves of Eggman's robot army in order to get answers about his past, or even when he confronted the being that gave Shadow life, Black Doom, Shadow was always ready and willing to do whatever it took to get the job done. No matter what perils awaited him, Shadow always stared straight down the barrel and faced the challenge head on. That is fearless.
I think mysterious because with Shadow, especially in his first game, you're never quite sure with him whether it was his motivations or whether he was being tricked and manipulated, and it never ever gets revealed fully, so I think mysterious is a really good word to describe Shadow.
Shadow is a very strong and mysterious type of character, but he's also got this really deep and tragic backstory that kind of makes you feel bad for him.
He's always existed in this weird space between hero and villain, and you never really know which way he's going to go or where his allegiances truly lie.
When Shadow hit the scene, he was this dark, tragic, villainous character. He had this backstory that no other Sonic character had, and by the end of the game, something really surprising happened. He sacrificed himself.
He has an amazing character design, amazing story, he has amazing music. Despite who may like him or dislike him, he will be an equal opportunity savior. He will save everyone because he can, not because he has to.
Everything he does is for Maria's sake. Yeah, sure, he was fueled by anger and hatred for what happened to her, but in the end, he was willing to sacrifice himself multiple times to fulfill her wish. Let the world have their dreams and prosper onwards. And that is true loyalty.
A tragic character. He is faced with guilt from his past that he couldn't protect his friends. If there's one way to describe him, it would be that. Complex.
When he wasn't sure of who he was, even if he wasn't sure who Maria was, he wasn't sure about all these things that haunted him, right? When he has to act, Shadow does what thinks is right, and he will stop at nothing, at nobody. He will fold at nothing to carry out his mission, right?
He truly is the ultimate life form. He has overcome impossible odds every single time and ultimately always chooses the correct path. Whether it's saving the Earth in Sonic Adventure 2 or destroying the Black Arms army in Shadow the Hedgehog, or even going against Mephiles in Sonic 06. He really is the ultimate life form.
I love Sonic and all of his friends, but when Shadow's on the screen, his aura, his stance, it commands respect, and he has it from me.
Literally, the rawest individual to do it. He is him. He walks in the room with that energy, bro. And you just know when he's here with that serious face, when stuff's about to go down, it's really over. When is he not the GOAT? When is he not telling you he's about to cook?
I think Shadow, as a character, is just a cool guy. I mean, literally, look at his design.
One of the most amazing characters in this franchise.
Shadow always leaves an impact. There's not one time he's gone under the radar in the game. He always leaves an impact.
Shadow's a force to be reckoned with, fearless in his pursuits and unyielding in his methods to accomplish them. After going through so much,
He finds confidence within himself to push away all doubts and fight hard for what he believes in his own way, of course. That's what makes him the ultimate, and my favorite.
Don't get me wrong, Sonic is cool and all, but Shadow is cool in a completely different way. He's the anti-hero. He's the brooding, cool guy that actually wants to do things right, but at the same time feels remorse, feels sorrow, and you kind of feel that empathy along with Shadow, something that many of the other heroes just can't do, and that's why he is completely undeniable.
If I had to describe Shadow the Hedgehog in one word, it would be duality. He's like the dual side of Sonic. He didn't get to go on adventures with his friends or any of that stuff, but he uses his past trauma and his edginess to his advantage, and him and Sonic work so well together because of that.
How many people can proclaim themselves to be the coolest and still be the coolest?
I love you, buddy, but Shadow's cooler.
I guess although he can be a pain in my side, he does have a sense of coolness and style that I can't help but to admire. I mean, cut!
You do not mess with Shadow.
Let's get moving, guys. I am the coolest.
Shadow the Hedgehog is...
So, the whole story arc has been to ask, what are you letting define you? Should that define you? And how do you find and become your ultimate self? And I just feel like this is such an interesting and inspiring theme for anybody who is looking to find themselves, which is something that I personally struggle with.
Shadow doesn't care how others perceive him. This allows him to be completely true to himself. Once he has a goal, he will stop at nothing to accomplish it. And I think that's a great way to live life.
Chaos control! I'm so dark and edgy but cool at the same time. I said cut!